Well, I grew up on the Smith River, and we lived right on the river. We raised hay and ran cattle. Before I was old enough to work in the hayfield, I spent a good deal of my time fishing. It really causes me to be even more mindful of the necessity to do the project in the best way possible.
When he was little, before he ever started school, Jerry was fascinated with the rocks. Whenever I washed clothes, I had to watch for rocks. We had a really good friend who was a mining engineer. He taught Jerry all the rock formations up and down the canyon.
In 1985, we found the Johnny Lee deposit. I'm a geologist. My main thing in geology is mineral exploration. We used to figure out where to focus the drilling.
Fantastic place for a deposit to be because of the infrastructure. It's close to white sulfur. It's got roads, it's got electricity, it's got rail. There's no camps required. Everyone can work and live in the local towns, and we can develop it behind the hills, in the valleys, and have a minimal impact on the environment and any of the waterways.
Tintina Resources is definitely an open, transparent company, and I wouldn't be here if they weren't.
We meet with our local officials on a regular basis. We have community meetings where we try and give updates at every point of our operations to let people know what we're doing and give them a chance to have feedback and have input.
The people that are opposed to this are people from all over America who have been told that if they don't oppose this mine, that the mine will ruin our pristine river. Nobody here believes that this is going to pollute our rivers. I mean, we consider ourselves environmentalists. We're the ones that live it every day.
Protecting the environment and protecting the river and the people who depend on it and the ranchers who are on it very, very seriously.
Grew up being a cowboy, spending most of my days working with cattle, coming from that ranching work ethic. Since I've been with Tintina, our vision of reclamation is if we can make it look like we were never there. I try to do most of my work either on foot or horseback. That this still has to be a functioning, operating agricultural ground for 2 ranch families. And what would I expect from somebody working on my piece of heaven?
The truth is that the Smith River is very personal to everybody that lives here.
The water table is almost 200 feet below the surface where our decline enters the ground. So that means when the mine closes and the groundwater level recovers from dewatering of the mine, there's no chance of having a discharge from the mine portal.
Plus you have to have the facility set up that it allows you to collect all the water and be able to treat it to meet the standards that are established by the DEQ.
Regulations today are strict, practices are much more well thought out. There's a huge amount of forward thinking in building a mine.
This is a group of people that's doing it right. This is a group of people that is respected throughout the industry worldwide. And they also were really respected with the reports that they were putting in to date and how they were operating within the state of Montana.
We're doing the right thing well ahead of agency requirements, because we're just borrowing the land. We're not keeping it, it's a borrowing situation. We've got to give it back, and we've got to give it back in a very similar condition we've got it in.
We're for the mine 100%, and we think they're very well protected by the DEQ, who protects the environment, and it'll be a total asset to Meagher County and the area and the state and the nation.
The DEQ is going to see this through and make sure it's done right, but I think Tintina is going to go above and beyond that.
This community needs some kind of input with respect to jobs and long-term substantial positions for people. And I kind of see this project as being the thing that could really light this community back up again.
As this project moves forward, I'm really excited about the potential of what it can do for bringing this community some new life.
More money for schools, more money for infrastructure, and the more people you have, of course, then the better town you have.
I think the other thing the mine's going to do is bring in other types of businesses that can come here and operate and also be part of the community.
We want to have a thriving Main Street that attracts new business.
If the mine opens up, which we certainly hope it does, it'll help the community, help the schools. So we're much in favor of it.
I think the community is very excited about the project.
Oh, we've had tremendous support.
I think people are pretty filled with hope at the idea that there's going to be jobs.
My mom's family has been here since the 1800s and graduated high school here. I got my degree in environmental science with a major in geology. If I got to stay here and work, it would be a great opportunity. My brother would love to come back. A mine would bring all sorts of jobs for younger people.
This project does mean everything to me and my family.
I'm so proud of him now that he was able to be on the beginning of the copper deposit, the discovery, that he did his master's thesis in this valley and worked with the people that know him so well and think so much of him, that he could be here and have a project that has the value that it's got.
It really causes me to be even more mindful of the necessity to do the project in the best way possible, because we all have to live with this however it turns out. And so I need it to be a first-class project in order to fulfill what I regard as my obligation to the community.